kinds of difficulties there.
Yeah, Facebook. Why do you think we're having so much, problems? Because
Because we're talking
Facebook
shit.
hates us.
Well, we're talking shit
Yeah,
to them, but anyway, so we'll move on from that. Um,
yeah,
oh well, fuck Facebook and all the liberal lefties that run it. Anyway,
exactly.
so let's see. I don't know if we're live back on YouTube or not.
Are we on YouTube?
We were. Shit.
What happened?
Let's see here. I think it's. I don't think we're live anymore on YouTube.
Did did Face or YouTube get us now too?
Yeah, YouTube nailed us too. Well, it's because there's partial ownership with Facebook, so
Yeah,
doesn't
I know.
surprise me. Um, I mean, it's not like we had a gun or anything, in the video, but whatever.
No,
Uh,
but they don't like free speech.
of course, they don't like free speech.
Makes them look stupid.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
go, "Oh my God, he's speaking about facts.
right.
Ugh, we got to get rid of this. Can't
Well,
have
that's
that.
the
That's
thing
it.
is that they're it's like the Joker movie, right? Everybody lives in a fantasy land, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what the liberal left is living in right now. They're living in a whole fantasy land, and they're running off
Yes, they are.
Hollywood, thoughts and I'm not saying every one of the liberals, but I'm telling you right now, dude, a big percentage of them are just completely in like
Yep.
outer space.
Yep.
Um,
They're completely nuts.
so we'll we cover some of that now. Anyway, there's been a bunch of sightings supposedly, and this goes into another topic we're going to be talking about here in a minute. But supposedly there's been truck drivers droning up and down the highways and stuff, state to state, that have started seeing more and more UN vehicles in the country, and there's a couple different reasons I think for that. I think with the impeachment talk and everything else that's going on, I think, and I don't know who would be bringing in the UN unless
Well, Trump wouldn't be bringing in the
no,
UN when specifically he doesn't even like them.
I know.
So how would they get the okay, whoever, whether it's Congress or whatever, how are they getting the okay to? They can't.
Well, no,
That's something.
the
That's
UN.
some,
If you were a member of the UN, I don't think that there has to be an executive order. I don't think that there has to be anything specific on the docket. I think if the other UN countries think that a certain country is in trouble, I think that they can. There is a president of the UN. It's not just. Well, you just had something fly by you. What was that?
I don't know,
Yeah, it was
but I
like a
think there was
ghost.
one of my kids was over there throwing stuff at me.
I noticed. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not real sure how the UN stuff works, but we've had the UN here before, and they're always here. They train with our troops. We have troops that are with the UN as well. So
Sure,
there's all kinds of different speculation on that. But anyway,
but to get vehicles in here, wouldn't they have to clear it with the
we manufacture
you know
them.
s- well, no, I get this, but Secretary of Defense would be notified of this. He would report to the president, NSA. I mean, Homeland Security would be like, there's UN trucks flying around here and tanks and what have you. Don't you think? I mean, I don't. I just find it hard to believe that they could fly under the nose of the president and and Homeland Security, and they don't know that they're here and why they're here.
Well,
That's the only thing I kind of find weird.
all I know is I've been watching different videos, and some of them maybe crap. I don't know. But some of them are pretty credible. There's actually a guy in California that's working on New California that had called in to one of these guys, Paul Preston, which, as far as I know, my friends in California that know the guy think he's credible. So he was one of the ones that had
Okay,
mentioned that the UN was there. Um, the UN is supposed to be a peacekeeping thing, and they're supposed to. Anytime that there's unrest in a country that's part of the UN, they're supposed to step in and help out with that. Now,
Sure.
many years ago, and most three percenters, most patriots kind of understood this, that the UN was one of the ones that was really pushing toward taking away our guns and our gun rights and everything else.
Yep.
Mainly because most of the other members of the UN are gunless. They can't protect themselves, and the European cities and stuff like that that's involved in the UN, their citizens don't have weapons. So, most of the 3% groups. What the hell are you doing? That looked like a French tickler kind of. What the hell are you doing
I'm
with
not
that?
sure what it. I'm not sure what that is, but I found it on the floor, and I guess my kids. It's one of their toys.
You might want to keep that one. That looks like something like it's been somewhere it shouldn't have been. Anyway,
Oh, go ahead.
so we'll move on from the UN thing. But so here recently, and this is a legit thing. It was on October the 3rd, and there's been a bunch of videos going on around about this. I've shared a few of them, and from what I can tell, it's credible. It's a real thing. Trump has activated the Marine side of the National Guard, and what that means basically is he has instructed them. That is an order. He has instructed them to assist with other civil authorities, which is sheriff's departments, police departments, local places like that, in case there is civil unrest. So apparently, with this impeachment talk or all the stuff that's going on, and I know that the right has basically said, if we try and remove the president, we are going to. That's when civil war is going to start. There's a lot of people thinking that obviously that there's a coup going on, and a lot of people think that if they can't impeach him the way that they want to, then they're going to try and actually physically try and remove him and his cabinet from the White House.
What about the 70 million Trump supporters? They going to remove those too?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is if they physically remove Trump,
Yeah.
we're gonna have all kinds of crap going on in the streets.
Yeah, well, I think we're pretty close to that actual prediction right now.
Well, here's the thing that sucks. Instead of, and this is my opinion and my take on things. Instead of us going to war with our other fellow countrymen, we need to be going to war with the people in Washington, the ones that are causing this shit. Because
I agree.
those are the ones who are screaming the loudest. They're the ones who are in charge of everything. And if they're too stupid to understand what civil war will do to this country, and they continue to do what they're doing, then they're the ones who need to be either put up on a stalk, or they need to be put up in Leavenworth or Gitmo or whatever. And it's treason.
I believe that, and I think a lot of people would agree with me that they will do anything, and I mean anything, to get Trump out of office, regardless of what it does to society, what it does to the economy. They're even wanting the economy to tank.
Yep.
They're willing to go to any length to make sure that it doesn't matter what happens, as long as Trump's not president.
Yep.
Another 4 years. That's where we're at.
Well,
right
and now,
so all those crazy. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and now with this whole thing with Biden, if he ends up going down, now see, I think that they're willing to sacrifice one of their own to see this through, and Biden would be would be the sacrifice, and I don't think he's smart enough to even notice what's going on.
What do you think? They're going to sacrifice Biden to put in Warren?
Mm-mm. No, I think what's going to end up happening, and there's been a lot of talk on it this last week, is Clinton is positioning herself to jump back in the race, and she's got plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, she does, but I don't think so, because I think a lot of people just, nobody likes her anymore. She's not relevant anymore.
I don't know. The two women on the Democratic side that have a relatively small chance would be Elizabeth Warren, like you said, and Kamala Harris. But I think good old Camel Toe, I think she shot herself in the foot too many times already. And Elizabeth Warren, she's actually made a lot of headway. She's nowhere near as popular as what Trump is.
well, well, wait a minute. Wait. Before we start getting into who's making any headway, we're listening to the exact same people give us the numbers that were telling us that Trump was going to lose by
Well,
80%.
no, I'm not.
So
I'm
I
not
don't.
looking at those numbers. I'm looking at the
Oh,
campaign
okay.
donations and that
I
kind
was
of
going to
stuff.
say I I don't even care if it's Fox 2. I don't care what news channel gives me numbers anymore. I'm not going to believe it because I seen something happen in 2016 that was physically from every single person's perspective. It was impossible. He wasn't going to win, but he won. So I'm not going to pay attention to what they're telling me anymore. Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm getting messages from people.
What
Anyway,
do they say?
well, they're sending me texts and stuff like that. So apparently our video didn't start back up, but that's okay. We're going to continue to keep going. Um,
And then what happens? You're going to post it from YouTube out to Facebook.
well, YouTube started back up, but I'm not sure exactly how that's going to look. I got two emails, one for the first time it started and one for the second time it started. So
Oh,
we'll work it out. But anyway, I don't know what happened. I'm streaming really good. Might be kind of hard to wear that with your headphones on.
there you go. There you go, partner.
um, so again, excuse me for my cold, but again, I think it's time that we go through this about every 2 or 3 months, where we talk about making sure you got your gas tank full, the prepping side of things, making sure that you got plenty of bullets and you got
But
money
yeah,
out of your
make sure.
bank and
Yep, yep. Well, I don't think money is going to play much of a role when shit hits the
There is
fan.
one more.
But
There is one more thing that I want to talk about real quick too. So all the
yep.
ham operators that are out there,
Oh
California,
yeah, they're
California
shutting them down.
is shutting down the ham operators in the state of California. You believe that crap? And these people help out tremendously with emergency operations. They were. They
Oh, I
were.
fully believe it.
Huh?
I said I fully believe it.
Well, I.
I mean, that makes
Well, I mean,
all the sense in the world.
they're shutting down repeaters. And here's my thinking on this thing. The only reason you would want to shut down any repeaters is so that whenever something bad starts happening, we can't communicate with one another.
Yep,
And
that's right. They control all the media.
yep. And up here I've met some pretty good guys, ham operators and stuff. We actually went and bought two radios from a guy out in the valley last Saturday.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it's important that you have your ham radios. The problem is if you end up if they take down those antennas,
Towers.
yeah, the antennas, and then the only way that you can communicate with one another is if you're close together, and
Yep.
within a mile or something like that is what they'll carry, or
Yep.
5 miles, but they're literally because I mean the one that they had there's a network that was called oh crap I can't remember what it is now. Anyway, I could communicate clear down to San Diego, running off one of the towers. So, if and that was in Northern California. We were way up north. We were up by San Francisco. We could communicate all the way down to San Diego, and you could communicate a lot further than that. It was the wind system. That's what it was. And now they're shutting that down, and so that right there tells me that something big is brewing.
Yep.
Be prepared for it. Make sure that you know who your neighbors are. Make sure that you got you got your routes figured out because something big's coming. And the fact that they announced this
Yep.
should tell everybody in California, hey, they don't care that because they're still going to ruin you. Yeah, they don't care.
when when has California ever cared? And they just come out with the stupidest nonsense stuff anyway, and that's it.
Well,
Nothing you can do about it.
it used to be that the people that that was in charge of the states, maybe not DC, but the people that were in charge of the states still had the best interest of their citizens in mind, and that's all ceased to exist in the last 15, 20 years. It's all out for themselves.
Yes.
You see these people that are kind of on our level as far as income goes. They get in there and they start running states. The next thing you know, they're millionaires. Some of them billionaires,
Yep.
and then they're running for political office in D.C. And that's exactly what
Yep.
is looking like Newsom's going to end up doing. So, and I think everybody knew that, being Pelosi's nephew. I mean, what kind of political clout's he going to have? So, I don't know how far it's going to be. I don't know how far away major unrest is going to be, but it's coming, folks.
Well, yeah, California's doing its best to set itself up for the storm.
Well, and I got a feeling when social unrest does start, that state is going to end up it's going to end up eating itself. Them, Oregon, parts of Oregon anyway, Portland for sure. Yeah, what is going on with your video? For some reason, your video keeps like your screen just keeps changing.
I don't know.
It's weird.
That's on your end.
Yeah, it's on my end for something. But anyway, I don't. Do you got anything you want to cover, Ryan?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how long I've been saying it, but the time to start paying attention and watching out for something going to happen is right around election, and that's coming up. And like Dustin said, make sure you have gas in your vehicle, got your guns, your ammo, food, water. Water's always important. Your escape routes, what have you. And another big thing is we got to all start trying to figure out a way to communicate with each other besides using ham radios and Facebook. Or phones in general. And that's very, very important because if they could shut us down and they won't let us communicate with each other and then something does happen, it's going to be, I'm pretty sure we'll still fare okay. But at the same time, it'd be so much easier if we could communicate with each other and we know where we're going to be, where people are going, because there's people like me who have a family. And I would totally feel better being around other 3%ers because safety in numbers. So yeah, that's pretty much covers it. But I don't know what we would possibly do for another communication, something that we can communicate with and get a hold of each other with. Maybe we should all go get beepers. I don't know.
Well, here's another thing that's possible. Now, this would be within range. Is if everybody had CB radios, you might be able to use that.
Yeah.
And that's something you'd have in your car for mobile. They do have base stations that you can use. CB radio may be the only way. The only thing is you got to realize that CB radios are public broadcast. So, you could have to.
Everybody can hear you.
Well, you'd have to come up with some kind of a code so that you're not, bringing people to you that shouldn't be there with you.
Sure. So, but yeah, that's probably we everybody's got to start trying to figure out another way to communicate, because we're gonna end up paying for it one way or the other when shit hits the fan.
Well, think about it. They're taking down the ham stations and stuff in California. How long is it going to be before they decide, okay, something bad's going to happen. We're going to cut the phones. We're going to cut the internet access. They have the power to do that.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
California is not stupid. I mean, the leaders are obviously dumber than a box of rocks, or they don't give a shit. But they didn't get there by being completely stupid. So, they know that, and I can't say that the people that are leading California are the ones actually leading California. There could be a lot of outside influence. Hell, the cartels could be involved. Look where they're not charging people drugs anymore. I mean, think about the money that the cartels are making now. Now that you're not getting thrown in jail every time you get caught using heroin. You're not getting thrown in jail every time you're using cocaine. All these places that could have outside influence are not even in this country. I think that's treasonous. I think that every leader that's
Of course, it's
voted,
treasonous.
well, I mean, you're assisting another country. You're putting money in their pockets.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
think every state that has voted to decriminalize drug usage, especially when the drug is manufactured in another country, and even the pharmaceutical companies should be held liable for this stuff too. I think that every company that we or every entity that we send money to or we our citizens spend money on should be held liable because now that is actually treasonous. If you change the law
That is
to
treason.
assist another country into selling drugs to our people, that is treason.
Well, just I feel the same exact way. The way they pass laws to harbor
Yep.
criminals in sanctuary cities. You know, the people that end up paying for it are the innocent, citizens that live there.
That are
Um,
getting shot at,
they don't even
stabbed, robbed.
well, they're not, and the criminals don't even get
Yep.
convicted. Like Kate Steinle, perfect example. The guy killed her while she walked down a pier with her dad, shot her in the back with a
With
gun,
an FBI
a stolen gun.
with an FBI
Yeah,
agent's gun.
yeah, and he totally admits to it, but then said he didn't mean to do it, so they let him go. That's as crazy as that whole shit where they shot the mayor of San Francisco back in the day, and he claimed he ate a Twinkie and it drove him crazy, and they let him
Yep.
go. I mean, that's how crazy it is, you know. So
Well,
yes,
unfortunately, the liberal left sure thinks everything's unicorns and rainbows when it's not. Um, when a unicorn when a unicorn farts, does that mean that someone dies? I don't know. It's
it
that's the mentality that we keep seeing. You see them pass laws, and you're going, what the why would you
well,
do that?
well, it's kind of a funny thing because no matter how crazy you think the laws are, and they pass them here in this state, and then about a year or two later, you see other states in uproar going, "What the fuck you mean you're gonna regulate cow farts?" And I'm over here going, "What do you mean, dude? We did that like years ago. This Nobody understands that they need to pay attention to these liberal big cities and the crazy laws that they're passing because it does flow across the nation.
Well,
And it's
California's always
it's
been the testing state.
yes, yes,
Emissions started in California, and you've taken it got as far as
hey,
coming up here.
where did sanctuary states come from? Right here,
Yep.
buddy.
Well, here it was actually
Right
three
here.
states. It was here, Illinois, and New York. Those are the
Yeah,
three
but
big states.
California was the first to throw that out there, and they just went and talked to the other governors and said, "Hey, back us up on this,"
Well,
because that's what they try to do. Is if you notice, they try to get the other states to follow
hmm
suit, and then they go, "Look, it's normal, it's normal, it's normal." They're trying to push the agenda across the country. That's a scary thing. Where I mean, you do have states like Texas, which are like that, but you got these other states that are just like, oh, we'll bow down and kiss your ass, whatever you want to do, California, and they're willing to do whatever. It's amazing.
well, that's the one thing that I will say that the Democrats do well, and that's stick together. If we
Yes.
had that same stick to itiveness on our side, or from the centrist to the right at all, there would never be a no left. They wouldn't be able
Nope.
to exist. And
No, and
unfortunately, our side
they,
is so used to being comfortable, being able to pay our bills, and being able to support our families. And none of us want to go to jail. You rarely see a conservative guy go to jail unless it's like self defense type stuff. We're not out to, for the most part, and I can't say this for everybody, but we're not out to make ourselves better than someone else. We're out to make sure that we take care of
no,
ourselves and our families.
exactly. But also, a lot of people have gotten complacent, um, and just kind of sitting on the sidelines, going, well, you know, this. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to lose my gun rights. I don't want to, don't want the FBI looking at me. But we've gotten to the point where that's exactly where you need to be right now, because the left is just keeps coming and coming
Well,
and coming.
I think one of the things, and I mentioned this on a Facebook post a while back, and it got actually got pretty good response. Was I think that all the alphabet groups, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, God, there's so many of them now. I can't even think of them all, but all those need to be completely disbanded and restructured, and
Yeah, I agree.
not to where we have 7 different ones or 20 different ones, but it needs to be one group. Because here's the thing: is you get groups like the CIA that don't answer to anybody. You get groups like the NSA that don't answer to anybody. The feds, the FBI
FBI.
barely answered to anybody. I mean, they were answering to a guy named Jim Comey. I mean, fucking seriously. I mean, this guy's a fruitcake, and it's pretty. And same thing with the CIA with John Brennan. I mean, these
Yeah,
guys are completely living on a different planet. And John Brennan was a freaking
yep,
he was a communist. I mean, and that was back
yeah,
in the 70s. He was a registered communist. So that right there
yep,
should tell you, and look at the people who put them in place. That should tell you everything that you want to know about the Democratic Party right
yeah.
there.
No, you're right. You're right. They should disband all these alphabet groups.
Well, I know that here's the thing, and this is the crazy thing. They could disband every one of those people. They could keep the good ones, which I don't know how you would be able to tell. You'd have to look at their records, I guess.
Exactly.
But you could go on a mass hiring spree, and you could train as you go, and
Yeah,
how quiet things would be. I mean, you'd keep the ones that. Uh, I mean, you could start with one and just work your way down to the next one, whatever, or just disband them. And I think that that's exactly what got John F. Kennedy killed. Was he was looking at getting rid of the CIA, and the CIA causes not just in the United States, the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, causes shit in other countries and gets us into
yep,
wars. The feds, at least,
yep,
they're stuck here in the United States for the most part, but the CIA, they can their reach is so long and so powerful. They can go to Mexico, start shit. They can go to Iraq and start shit. I mean, most of your uh, military contractors, guess who pays them?
yep,
It's the CIA. So,
yep.
I'm probably going to end up getting shot for this, but oh well. Uh, I mean, I'm serious. I think that all these intelligence agencies, there should be one main intelligence agency, and each country should have one, and leave it at that. Put your brightest and your best there, and they should be apolitical. There should not be any politics involved in them at all. They should just be looking at crime.
Yep.
Looking
Yes.
for certain things. And the NSA was started under good pretenses, but it's gone completely rogue.
But that's funny you say that, because I think all the alphabet groups started under good pretenses.
I don't think that the CIA did. I think the CIA was a way that America could go over and start shit. If you look at how many wars we've been involved in, and how many that were, that could have been started by the CIA, whether
Yeah.
it's assassinations on different presidents, or attempts, or there's
Sure.
now here's the thing. Okay, I'm saying all this stuff, and I have friends that actually were contractors, and I'm not talking
Yeah.
bad about them. I'm talking bad about all the ones that direct this stuff. They've got. I mean, look at Fast and the Furious. Remember Fast and the
Yeah.
Furious?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Guns are still popping
El
up.
Chapo had a fucking rocket launcher, dude, and it was
Exactly.
it was involved. And
Exactly.
why the hell would you in the CIA? Why would you even attempt to give anything like a rocket launcher? He had a rocket launcher and he had a 50 cal that was big enough to take down helicopters. Why in hell? I mean, even if it was a Sting, why would you include that kind of shit?
Uh, because they want to seem like the for real. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm just
Well, they could
speculating.
have made it inert. I mean, shit, a rocket launcher is a rocket launcher. You can take out anything with one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It slips by. Now you're
Yeah.
blowing up houses. You're blowing up all kinds of shit. So Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was Obama. So
Yeah, good old blamer. We call him old blamer
he
because he blames everybody else but himself.
that's true too.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh, go
a
ahead.
dime to donuts, dude. I'm telling you right now, whether or not people like her or not, I bet you $10. I'll bet you $10 from here, from Alaska, that Hillary Clinton throws her fucking hat in the ring, dude. If Biden goes down, if Biden goes down, which he's probably going to, if he don't go down, he's gonna step out. He's gonna start to get to the point where he doesn't want the attention anymore. I guarantee you, him and his son are right now. They are like shitting bricks. And it
Oh, of course they
and
are.
here's the thing. So he had, and I look at it like this. So Bernie just had surgery, right? He just had a heart attack. Good old burn. He's feeling the burn.
I think Bernie's out after that because
He's not physically
I think
fit.
his doctors.
Well, he's not physically fit for
Well,
service.
his, his doctors are going to tell him, you can't do this. Yeah,
Well,
that's what I
I mean,
think.
he can't handle the regular stress of running a campaign. How the hell is he going to take the stress of running a country?
Exactly. I mean, he'll be dead.
You know, I mean, and the thing is with a stint, and everybody knows this. You don't get like 20 years out of a stint. You only get 5, maybe 6, before you got to go
Exactly.
in. And the thing is not only that, but if he had 2 arteries that were clogged, how long is it going to take for the rest of them to get that way? So, I mean, are they going to go in and like put like a mechanical heart in there and keep him alive? Are they going to end up being like,
Dude,
go ahead.
I had a lot of people. I had a lot of people give me a lot of shit about that because I was like, they announced that Bernie had a heart attack, and I was like, good for him. I don't give a crap. And people were like, well, you should care. I'm like, no, no, I don't care. I'm like, well, when was the last time he gave a crap about anything, Trump was trying to do for the past 4 years? I'm like, nah, I don't care. They were like, you don't care if he died? No, I don't care.
Nah, I'm serious. I mean, he's a socialist. I don't want to wish ill will on anybody, but at the same time, I'm not gonna like cry in my soup because he didn't die. He had a heart attack.
No, he
I
didn't.
mean, I mean,
Yeah,
he had
and it wasn't
he had some of the best doctors in the United States working on his ass, and
exactly.
his bills probably he's not gonna have a bill for this. He's got great insurance, I'm sure, but
Oh
you know,
yeah. You know what's funny? He didn't go running to Venezuela or Canada for their socialism. Medical. No, no, no. He went right here. And got his heart
yeah, I mean,
work done.
that
But I
that's what makes our
why
country
didn't he
great.
go? Why didn't he go wait in line and go to Canada? Yeah, I'm sure he'd have a stent in his heart in about 3-4 weeks. Yeah,
Well, what's
I just
that?
don't know why he.
What's that? What's that Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg? That is like
Guinea.
The Walking Dead. In a few years,
Yeah,
that's going to be
Guinea.
burning.
Oh, and, what is that? Weekend at
Yep.
Bernie's. Yeah, weekend at Bernie's.
I don't think anyone's seen him out in public since this all happened either. So,
No,
who's to say he's not really laying there dead and they got a double in there now? Oh, we got a cat.
yeah, I found it.
You found it?
I found it. I think it's our cat.
Okay.
It's Mitten, Mitten the
Yeah, I was
kitty.
over at your house 2 or 3 times and never seen a cat over there. They were like
Oh
scared to
yeah,
death of people.
no, 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 he's here.
Yeah.
He hangs out with me because everybody else, I think, went to bed.
Well, so when are you gonna flee? When are you fleeing California? When are you getting out of there?
Oh God, I'd like to get out of here like shit in the next 10 minutes. Hopefully soon, though. Yeah, get out of here. This place sucks. It's just every day. I absolutely hate turning on the news now. I hate finding out what the state's doing next. That's so progressive. So I'm like, I just want to go.
Well, I tell you what, even with the
You,
stuff that we've dealt with up here, which has been, I'll give you an example. Every so often in California, me and the wife, we'd get into some stupid argument. It wouldn't mean anything, and it would be just over dumb shit. And we haven't had that up here.
sure.
We've been, the 3 months that she's been here. I mean, it's been like bliss. It's almost like, I don't know. The stress has just kind of left us. I'm back into bowling again, which I haven't
Oh,
bowled in 4 or 5 years. But
oh,
we're looking at getting a
oh,
house. I mean, that would have never happened in California,
oh.
dude.
Oh no, because houses are $1 million
So
here.
one of my friends had posted that her neighbors were moving, and this is in where the hell is this at? It's in Milpitas, California, which is the city. Um,
Oh, yeah.
their neighbors' rent just got raised to 30, or was it 4,700 or 3,700?
I think it's 37. Or wait.
I think it
We got
was
to 47.
it was either 3,700 or $4,700 a month for a house in
Jesus,
Milpitas. I don't know anyone on
Jesus.
this planet that could afford that much in rent. I mean, and then here's the funny thing:
A
was the
month.
people, the landlords live in freaking China. They don't even live here.
Yeah.
They live in another country,
Yep.
and they're raising the
Yep.
rent. And it took, according to my friends, it took them 3 years to rent it out at what they were renting it out. And now they're going to raise it that much, and holy crap, dude! I mean, when we get the house here, I wouldn't even be paying 2,000 for a 3 bedroom house, in a mortgage.
Yep.
It'd be like 1,700 and something.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
I can't see how anyone can live in the city there.
Well, they're also they're getting paid a lot.
Well, not everybody though. I mean, look at San
No,
Francisco. How
not
many
every.
homeless people they got?
Oh Jesus Christ, they're everywhere.
I
It's a
mean,
mess out there.
that would be a city, and I've got friends up here that think San Francisco is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, have you been there in the last 3 years? Because it's not. I mean, you go into certain districts there in San Francisco, and it's like, I mean, you might get typhoid fever just by walking in the freaking
Oh
streets.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not trash that you're stepping on.
No,
It's human
it's
waste.
human feces. Yeah. I was just in Union City Friday, and we were driving. We went over there by Facebook headquarters. You know where that is?
Uh huh.
Yeah. So we were doing some work over there, and as we're driving, we're looking on the side of the freeway. Me and my coworker, and it was just never-ending motorhomes and tents. It just went on for miles and miles and miles. We were like, I mean, especially when we seen them go on the freeway, but then when we were going through Oakland, and it just entire everywhere you looked into Oakland, it was just these wooden crate house little shacks that people are building with tents, and oh, it was a mess. It was a mess,
I was
and there was garbage everywhere.
I was reading the other day that there was somebody in one of the cities. I'm not sure which city it was there in California, that they were trying to rent a shack, like a storage shack,
Oh yeah,
for like a
yeah,
thousand bucks for someone to live in.
yeah. That was I believe it was in San Diego though.
I mean, that's still nuts. I mean, it's a one room shack. It's literally a storage shed that they're
Yeah,
trying to rent for $1,000 a month for someone to live
yeah,
in. I
yep.
don't know how the hell the city could even allow that. I mean, it's not a structure that's livable. There's no toilet. There's no running water. There's probably electricity, but it's probably from an extension cord.
Well, I'm sure they gave them like a porta potty outside or something.
I don't know, man. Honey bucket.
Yeah, a honey bucket. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I can't imagine that you got them living in your backyard in a shed. You want them to crap in your backyard. So,
Well, they crap in your backyard in San Francisco. What's the difference?
well, I don't know. Liberal thinking all the way around. I
In San
couldn't answer.
Francisco, you could literally be driving down the streets, and someone can walk in between cars and take a shit
Yes,
on your milk
yes.
bars or your side steps or whatever. I've seen it happen. I've seen the
No,
videos.
me and my old boss were down there. We were right downtown for a meeting, for just with our work. We got there an hour early for the meeting, and he goes, "You want to get some lunch?" I said, "Sure, let's go get some lunch." And we go into this little cafe overlooking the street, and we're hanging out. We're ordered some sandwiches, and as we sat down, we're looking. Our seats looked out onto the street, and we seen this homeless guy who was wearing a white T-shirt that was brown because of dirt. He's wearing white shorts, and they were like running shorts, and they were brown, and he had a big beard and dreadlocks. He walks out to the middle of the street, and my boss goes, "What's he doing?" And I go, "I don't know what he's doing." Well, he grabbed the side of his shorts. He pulled them aside, and he squatted a little bit in the middle of the street. There was no cars going by, and he just started crapping. And he goes, my boss goes, "Are you serious?" He's shitting in the street. And I go, "Yeah, I see that." And he goes, "I guess he goes, I guess that's normal." And I go, "Well, how long have you lived in Sonoma County?" He goes, 34 years. And I said, "You ever seen that in Sonoma County?" He goes, "No." And I go, "No, because it's not normal." And that was about. I mean, that was last year when I was there. But it's the same way now, but worse. People are just squatting literally on every corner and every alley. Yeah, it's bad.
Well, I think New York has kind of always had something similar to that in New York City. And I think San Francisco's just caught up to it. I'm kind of wondering. So you see all these movies and stuff that are shot in San Francisco, and there's a ton of them. Like all the superhero movies.
Yep.
Planet
Yep.
of the Apes was shot there.
Yep. Yep.
All that stuff was shot there. I wonder
Oh,
if they have to have
Venom. Venom.
yeah, Venom was shot there. I wonder if they have to. Ant-Man and the Wasp was shot there. I'm wondering if they have like cleanup crews that go in there and beautify the city before the movies are shot there, because I couldn't imagine.
Well, they have a poop patrol that gets paid, I think, like 70, 80,000 a year. And those guys just drive around the city spraying poop off.
Probably
And
wearing
what's
hazmat
funny,
suits.
they are wearing hazmat suits. But what's funny about that is, so everybody recently heard that Trump sent San Francisco some bad news from the EPA, from the federal EPA, and San Francisco, fought back and said, "Oh no, no, we have no problem." But if you've ever watched them out there with the poop patrol spraying down the sidewalks, you're watching all the poop go right into the gutters, and where do you think that goes? Goes out into the bay, and along with the needles and the whatever else is out there. But they try to make it sound like they're not doing anything wrong, but also we just had how many whales washed up in the bay
Oh yeah.
over the course of a year. I mean, and San Francisco itself is going, we don't know why, we don't know why. Well, if you're spraying poop and needles and all this shit into the ocean, right there, which is, I mean, San Francisco is on the ocean. What do you think is going to happen to all the natural, habitat and life that lives in the bay right there? And they don't even want to acknowledge that. They say, "Oh no, it's not us." So I mean, but it's obvious as anything. The more polluted San Francisco gets, the more dead whales and fish and animals keep washing up on the shore.
Well, and think about this too. Okay, so they're spraying that stuff with high pressure water. What's to say that shit, the human waste and the urine and everything else doesn't get atomized and ends up getting in the air, gets on the buildings. I mean,
well, of course it does.
I mean,
of course it does. If you watch them spraying it, they're just spraying it at the ground. It's spraying up the building.
Of course.
Yeah, and kids walk by, they touch the buildings. Tourists walk by, touch the building. Jesus Christ, dude, it's a giant mess there. I would never take my kids there.
We're living in a society right now, and within San Francisco and these big cities. We watched all the movies and that kind of stuff that's had, all kinds of crazy shit where we end up having zombies and everything else running around. There's weird diseases and stuff like that. Well, you'd think that people would kind of learn from that shit and not do the stuff that they did in those movies. And I know most of that stuff's fictional, but there's diseases out there like AIDS and typhoid fever and the plague and that kind of stuff.
Hepatitis.
I mean, they're gonna make a comeback. I mean, seriously.
They're already coming back now. And what was it? L.A. just they want Gavin Newsom to declare a state of emergency for L.A. The mayor does, and Gavin Newsom won't do it.
Well, no, I think Gavin Newsom tried it. He asked Trump for a bunch of money to help with that, and Trump turned him down. Trump turned them down because they're not doing. The thing is anytime California gets money from Washington, they never put it to the use
it.
to what They
No,
never put it to the use that they requested it to be used on.
nope, nope, never,
It's no different than
never.
the Golden Gate Bridge, and
Even
we're only going to charge
e-
this for that for so many years.
e- even for all the people that lost their houses in the Paradise Fire and Coffee Park and all that crap, those people are still struggling to get their money from the state uh, because they got all those hundreds of billions of dollars of state emergency money. It was supposed to go to these families, a lot of it to help
Mm-hmm.
them. None of it. It all disappeared. It's like what was that? Puerto Rico. Where was that? That island out there. Uh,
It's
they got
Puerto
all the
Rico.
help. Was it? Yeah, Puerto Rico. They had the hurricane. It wiped out
Yeah,
all of Puerto Rico, and then Trump or somebody. I think it was Trump. No, it wasn't Trump. Maybe it was Trump. But anyway, sent all that
the water.
aid over there.
Yep.
Yeah, and money, and it never went to the people.
Well,
It's the same thing that happens here.
all the water ended up in a uh, it ended up in
Yeah,
a
field,
no, not a
field.
field. Well, it ended up there eventually, but it ended up in a hangar at the airport and never went out. And
Exactly.
I mean, and some of it
It,
actually was on the tarmac or something like that, and the heat and the sun and everything got to it and basically
it,
ruined it. But yet
you know, my
the mayor had said that they never said anything.
I think she got in trouble for all that
She
though.
did.
Yeah, but the thing is, like my coworker said the other day, it kind of struck me real odd that I never really thought about it. But he was telling me, he goes, all these politicians, he goes, they're committing the exact same crimes that normal people are committing, but when they get caught, it's called politics. He goes, but when we get caught, it's called the criminal offense and we go to jail. He goes, they do the exact same thing that criminals, normal criminals do. He goes, but on a bigger scale that affects way more people. And he goes, they don't go to jail. He
Mm-mm.
goes, just like California asked all for that federal money for that high speed train thing, and they got it all. Then a quarter way through the project, they said, no, we're not going to build it, so we're just going to pocket this money. Well, then Trump came back and said, no, I want my money back. And then they said, no, why should we give you the money back? And we all know damn well Gavin Newsom and the rest of them pocketed it, divvied it up, and said, hey, look, we don't have to work.
Yep.
And they were thinking, oh, we're going to get away with it free and clear. And it's what they've been doing for the past 100, 200 years. It's like people need to start holding their politicians accountable. They're people that are in the House running, representing their states. They need to hold these people accountable for this crap. They can't just go, well,
Well, that's the tiered
because
system that we're living in now, man.
no, I
If you're
know,
a politician, you get away with a lot more shit than anyone else does.
I know, and I just don't understand it because they can threaten us, they can rob us, they can do whatever they want, and nobody is held accountable. Nobody.
Yep. Well, I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and call it short. I'm starting to get to where my throat's starting to get a little sore from talking. But
All right.
well, I say short. We've been on for an hour and 10 minutes, so we
Oh,
ran the show.
we ran the show.
But I want to put a shout out real quick. If you guys see anybody with the UN out with troops, you see any blue helmets, anything like that going around, make sure that you post it on Facebook, YouTube, all the platforms, so everybody knows.
And take pictures. Yeah,
videos, pictures, locations, time
Yep.
frame,
Yep.
license plates if you can get close enough, anything like that, to spread the word that the stuff that we're seeing and hearing is actually true. That's all important. And
Yep.
you guys have to be your own eyes and ears out there. We can spread it around, and we will do the same on our end. But
Yep.
make sure that you guys are prepared for bad shit because Red Dawn may be coming true here soon. So in the next few months, maybe get a little bit bumpy with this impeachment crap. But hold on to your hats, boys and girls, because we don't know what's coming next. It's been a long time since we've been in this territory.
you, You think they booted us off Facebook for good or what?
No, I don't think so. I'm still on there. I can still post. But if not, then we'll just keep doing it on
Yeah.
YouTube and we'll build the following up there, I guess.
Man, I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess.
The problem with YouTube is everybody goes on there and watches videos. The problem with it is that they don't subscribe to anything. They don't create an account. So, and YouTube does, they really nailed the gun groups and that kind of stuff. So, I
Yeah,
don't care about making money off this stuff. It's never been an issue for me. But
yeah, me neither.
getting the information out is the important stuff, and that's all
Yes.
we're about. So, with that said, I'm Sherman Tank. That's do stuff,
I'm do shit.
and we are going to sign off for the night. So, hang tight for the
All right,
outro.
guys.